Most of that storm really only affected the north side of the campground, but as you see this damage here beside me, this is the road leading up to the KOA campground, and you see just massive trees and tree branches uprooted. Tracy, it's going as you might expect outside. Road conditions have been brutal all morning and afternoon long. Greg, Felton said that of the 440 active cases of the coronavirus within the state of Montana, 1/3 of them reside here in Yellowstone County. Now, the Rice and Snyder fires have burned a combined 40,000 acres. This weekend, 40 adults and Boy Scouts are coming to MSUB to camp out, as 28 of them prepare to earn their merit badges at the conclusion of the weekend. Greg, after speaking with Eric Winburn, who's the undersheriff of the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office, he tells me that there is a sense of relief around the office, even though they did not find Selena alive like they were hoping for. Again, these are just proposed cuts. Nothing has been decided yet. The council will be getting together to vote on this and other proposals on June 22nd. And now at night, as you see behind me, all 7 of the teepees lit up in different colors.
Dominic Delfidio was on hand for Governor Steve Bullock's visit to the staging site this morning.
Members of the Montana DNRC, U.S. Forest Service, and other agencies gathered around their command post for Saturday morning's briefing regarding the Rice and Snyder fires. As of Saturday morning, the Rice fire is 30% contained, while the Snyder fire is at 50% containment. Governor Bullock was in attendance at Saturday's briefing and says while there is still a ways to go in fighting these fires, the early efforts from locals helped in preventing the fires from becoming worse.
Folks got on this early, long before teams were there, and that was the local efforts along the way in partnership. And they've done a lot of good laying down the ground to build the fire lines.
The state is seeing one of its hottest weekends of the summer this Labor Day, and with fire conditions prime, Governor Bullock says it's important Montanans do their part in preventing more from occurring.
Labor Day is always that weekend that we're out sort of celebrating the end of the summer, but it's kind of the driest part of our summer so far. We got to be real careful that we're not starting additional fires.
Now, the Rice and Snyder fires have burned a combined 40,000 acres. And entering Saturday, Incident Commander David Hamilton says the next threat is posed by these cottonwood trees along the Tongue River, which he says could spark a fire at any moment.
We have a lot of them that have fire up in the tree, and they're casting what we call embers, basically little sparks out, and if those land out in an unburned section, they could start another ground fire.
Much of the state is under a red flag warning due to hot temperatures and strong winds this weekend. Reporting from Rosebud County, Dominic Delfidio, Montana Right Now.
Our Dominic Delfidio stopped by the testing site to see how it was going.
I'm here at the Eastern Montana Fairgrounds in Custer County, where behind me, COVID-19 surveillance testing is currently underway. This is in a response to the sudden rise of COVID-19 cases in the county, as Custer County residents and residents of surrounding areas are encouraged to come out and get tested. As Montana moves forward with reopening the state, Custer County takes a step back. The recent spike of coronavirus cases is prompting county health officials to return to Phase 1 of reopening the state. Under Phase 1, all non-essential businesses are to be closed, social gatherings should be limited to 10 people or less, and restaurants and bars are to operate at 50% capacity. One Health site director, Lindsey Bryan, believes the rise of cases is partially due to the phased reopening of the state, in addition to more people getting tested.
We've got more access to testing, I think makes a huge difference. And folks are, really understanding the signs and symptoms of what they should, talk to their primary care provider about.
Bryan goes on to say out-of-state travelers could bring in the virus to the state, but adds Montanans could be just as guilty.
We also have folks who are leaving our state and coming back into our state because we all want to travel. We've all been cooped up. And so I think there's going to be that potential too, that it may be some of our own Montanans.
While the goal of the surveillance testing is to find coronavirus in patients, it also plays a pivotal role in contact tracing to help mitigate the spread of the virus.
The fact that people can be asymptomatic and that they can spread it while they're asymptomatic makes a huge difference for us to, find those cases. Because if we can't identify the cases, we can't stop the spread.
Bryan says 1,500 tests were administered for the 2 days of surveillance testing site here in Custer County, and hopes that all 15 tests will be utilized, as she encourages all residents of the surrounding areas to come out and get tested. Reporting in Custer County, Dominic Delfidio, Montana Right Now.
Dom, what are the road conditions looking like?
Tracy, it's going as you might expect outside. Road conditions have been brutal all morning and afternoon long. We've been seeing those snow and icy covered roadways, and as we approach the evening hours, we can expect them to remain the same or get progressively worse, especially with those below freezing temperatures remaining in our forecast for the next several days. Now, the video you're seeing on your screen right now is what we've been seeing all afternoon throughout Yellowstone County, and as we see, some of the main roads have been plowed, and we continue to see plows around town. However, with the consistent snowfall still occurring, we're looking at a lot of these roadways still expecting to be covered in snow as we go into Sunday. I put in a call to Billings Public Works to get an update on the plows throughout the city, but was unable to get in contact with anyone. The Montana Highway Patrol has been reporting several incidents throughout the day Saturday. As we take a look at some road conditions here, we see Yellowstone, Carbon County, Bighorn counties, and portions of south central Montana, especially along I-90, really seeing those icy and snow-covered roadways. Central Montana, Wheatland, Musselshell, Judith Basin, especially out west, Missoula, Lewis and Clark County, and those portions of I-90 out west, seeing those very, very snow-covered roadways. And now we're going to take things out to Afik Kasham, who's live in Great Falls. And Afik, if the weather's anything like it is here in Billings, I'm sure those roadways are just as bad. I'll send things out to you. She came to Billings to try and find some peace, but anything she found after her arrival was anything but peaceful.
Can you touch the sky, Addie? Yeah. Yeah? Did you grab a cloud? No. Well, you better keep going.
41-year-old Faith Dumont is a business owner, a mother, and a wife with a busy life. She says she takes great care of her body, eats right, and lives a healthy lifestyle. But if it weren't for an upcoming appointment with her regular practitioner, her life could have come to an abrupt halt.
Olga is my regular practitioner that I go see, and she had been asking me for a while now if I had gone to do my mammogram, and I had not. And so I knew I had an upcoming appointment with her, and I wanted to not have to tell her I had not scheduled that yet.
Faith had her very first mammogram and was called back for another scan after doctors saw something wasn't quite right. After several mammograms and a biopsy, Faith was diagnosed with grade 3 breast cancer, and at that moment her life was turned upside down.
It's life-changing because you're not ready for it, even emotionally wise. Nobody's ready for that. You just kind of get hit with it.
Faith says her diagnosis came as a surprise given her healthy lifestyle and the lack of breast cancer history in her family. But St. Vincent's breast health navigator Dr. Ella Dugan-Lemley says it happens more often than we think.
85% of diagnosed breast cancer is not genetically. You can be healthy and active and eat right and exercise. Those are good components to continue in your care, but you can still get breast cancer.
Dr. Dugan-Lemley is part of every breast cancer patient's care team at St. Vincent's. She's there to be an extra level of support for patients as they go through their treatment and recovery process.
I took her over to surgery, was with them. I was there when she woke up from surgery, and it's just having that constant person that they know they can count on.
Faith's breast cancer journey moved quickly. Her biopsy confirming the cancer took place on June 18th, and she had surgery to remove the deadly cells the following month. But her battle is far from over. Because her cancer is hormone-driven, Faith will have to take estrogen-blocking pills for 5 years and will begin 5 weeks of daily radiation in November. And though the path ahead looks grueling,
Well, everybody comes into your life for a reason, and I'm glad I got to meet you.
Faith knows she can still count on Dr. Dugan-Lemley to be in her corner. Reporting in Billings, Dominic Delfidio, Montana Right Now.